All the disrespect before you play back, button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of beautiful HT of buttons that need to be checked. Of course, we'll celebrate that at the end of the video. But for now, chapters down below, sub button right there. Appreciate the love for helping the channel grow. We got a lot, man. Some of it leaking over from yesterday, but we got some new stuff that's popping off. There's a lot happening this week, period. We're talking about 2XKO, obviously, Marvel Tokon, Street Fighter 6, and then some. So either way, let's check some hot buttons. Let's go. All right, first up for that 2XKO garbage dumpster damn trash fire continuation buttons that need to be checked. So after I posted the video on yesterday, more content creators kind of came out. Dirty Low was very vocal and contacted me like, yo, people on Reddit, his opinion. So he has a lot to say. I'll share that with you guys in a second. But I noticed Rooflemonger posted this video titled 2XKO team suffers disastrous layoffs after game's launch. Apparently, I guess the devs had spoke to him and said there's another announcement coming. So he was like, sometime, I guess next week, they're gonna go more in depth on what to expect. So he kind of talks about that in this portion of the video and then some. So link down below, check out his full video if you haven't seen it already, but check out this clip.
Smaller team. And another thing is they very much appreciate the bad optics of the situation, that people are gonna be confused and angry. So this is not the last statement on the matter. There will be more public statements to be had. Sometime next week, they didn't give me an exact day, but sometime next week, they're gonna go into the specifics. They're gonna go into the nitty gritty about the focuses of 2XKO moving forward into the future. Keep in mind, this call comes from like the very highest of high ups. So even a lot of people in somewhat of a management position are a little confused right now. They'll need a little bit of time to figure out what's going on. I expect their socials to be probably like radio silent for a little bit. But the project moves forward, the game will move on. Nothing's ending. And sometime next week, we're going to kind of have like a deep dive in just everything that the future will hold for the game. So that's the news aspect of it right now. Is this ideal? No, of course not. This sucks. This is a bummer. Even if 2XKO wasn't for you, even if you didn't personally back the game or it wasn't your cup of tea, whatever, like nobody wanted this. But to be real, this is a business in the end. And sometimes business decisions get made. But that's the news for the moment. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to be said on this. Just even from the community itself. And of course, we have their statement that'll come next week. So stay tuned on the channel. We'll cover the news as it happens. So
all right, so we'll stop right there. There's a lot more to it. That video is over 10 minutes long. So link down below so you guys can check it out. He also goes into the video talking about how the game is, well, currently as we know it, not dying because the devs have, stated that things are going to stay the same, like the game plan or the roadmap for this year, which is where Dirty Low comes in. He pretty much, like I said, very vocal. I thought about sharing his text message. He sent me a lot of voicemails as well. And I was like, nah, I'll save those voice messages. So one of the main points, not only from Dirty Low, but from the community, because I kept seeing in the comments, is they kept comparing the situation to Legends of Runeterra, the card game. And I remember first hearing about that from Dirty, man, like 2 years ago or something like that, because he was playing it. But he was like, yo, this is the exact same thing that Riot did with that game. Like, it came out, I'm not sure exactly how much time they took for that to drop, but it came out, and then not too far after, they pulled back like the budget. They kind of downsized, and they were like, yo, we're gonna kind of focus more, basically along the same speech, I guess, that Riot gave, or the 2XKO devs gave in this case. And then like it stayed the same-ish for like around a year, and then right after it died. So that's why he was like, yo, I don't have high hopes for 2XKO right now, because if I'm guessing, they're probably gonna announce like, hey guys, don't worry, 2XKO roadmap will be the same for this year. But he was saying the way it looks is they're probably gonna make a statement saying, hey, don't worry, we know this sucks. We didn't want to make the decision, like they even said in their statement, but things are gonna stay the same. Things will be all right, here's the roadmap. But what Dirty's also saying, and some of the community is like, but what happens after that? They can't really tell us. What's probably gonna happen, they're gonna have a smaller team, so they're not gonna release as many characters. The support is gonna dwindle. Everything ultimately is gonna dwindle, and then 2XKO might cease to exist as far as like an actual competitive game in the FGC. And I don't mean that like totally like from existence, because obviously it could still be here, but as far as like what everybody thought it was going to be, the prize money still being there and support for the you know, for the community, everything seems like it's going to dwindle. People could, you know, could still have a fan base, people could play it, but as far as it being like a main stage game and it being the savior of the FGC, all these things that you heard and hoped for the last 10 years, which is crazy to think about, isn't very likely. Doesn't seem like the odds are there in its favor. That's what we're hearing right now. There's more to come. Like even Rufo was talking about, they're gonna make another statement next week. These are the predictions. How y'all feeling? Let me know. And all right, next up for the community dooming and kind of celebrating at the same time for Marvel Tokon. Listen, there's another game. I don't want to say it's in jeopardy because it's nowhere near along the lines of 2XKO, but there's some concerns. There's already been concerns about this game. It seems like it teeter-totters, right? One, it's the best thing ever made. Then we're like, oh shit, we think this is gonna suck. No, just wait, there's actually sauce. No, there ain't no sauce. This is dry as hell. There's a lot. There's a lot, but I would say glass half full that it still seems like there's high hopes for this game. Then we got State of Play, which I believe is coming up, what, like this Thursday? So there, hopefully, I guess Tokon is supposed to make an appearance there and like, you know, maybe rest our nerves a little bit. We should see, because even that, people are like, are they going to show us something new? They haven't said anything in a minute. Like, it would be nice if we heard something. But going deeper before that, Wario64 posted this. They be dropping some news right here saying, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls stream page details 20 characters at launch, 64-player online lobby, PlayStation account required. Once again, 64-player online lobby, PlayStation account required, single player episode mode, dive deep on each team to learn more about team dynamics and the lore. These are the pages right here. Let's click on them real quick so you can see additional clues. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, assemble your team of legendary characters, 4v4 tag team fighter from PlayStation Studios, Arc System Works, yada yada, and then roster of 20 iconic Marvel characters at launch, each rendered in a bold new anime-inspired art style and members their own unique teams of equally impressive heroes and villains. So there you go, 20 iconic characters at launch. What else? So they post this as well. This is just more like face off against a local or a friend locally, or join the fray up to 64 players in an online 2 lobby. Now here's the thing, there's a couple of details that probably just stood out to you, right? FGC noticed as well, they're responding. First you got Mighty Keith like, what? We'll get deeper though. If anything, the roster won't be the cause for the downfall. It's the oversimplification of the fighting game genre for the modern audience who isn't going to stick around. And why do I need a PlayStation account to play on Steam? Which you've heard that a lot. Somebody said, I don't know, maybe because it's a PlayStation game, but others are like, they need to boost those PS account numbers and they want to be able to ban you when you cheat, and are they still trying to pull this shit? Also, PlayStation account required. I'll pass. And Marvel Tokon at launch, 20 characters is okay. Street Fighter 6, 18. Fatal Fury City of Wolves, 17. Dragon Ball FighterZ, 24. Guilty Gear Strive, 15. But then others make the rebuttal that like, it's a 4v4. So it's not okay. In those other games, the 1v1, okay, but 20 for a 4v4 is not necessarily okay. So what are we talking about, like 5 unique teams? Then you got 20 characters, yeah, give it right back to Capcom. So like I was saying, you see a lot of that, people kind of calling out the 20 characters. So again, 20 at launch, huh? To be honest, it's a 4v4 and it's kind of low, but we'll see how it rolls. And crazy that this is news, I'm assuming we'll see more on Thursday at the State of Play. And no offense to anyone right here, no offense to anyone, but why is everybody surprised most fighting games these days have small rosters / DLC passes due to how much making the character costs, plus all the stuff that comes with them? Street Fighter 6 comes with World Tour stuff, and T8 is 3D and is a pain to work with apparently, but then you have 20 in 2026? Fuck that. I'm tired of these devs being lazy and greedy. Puny base rosters, DLC isn't far behind. How is it the fighters on the oldest fuck Xbox 360 and PS2 gave up to 50 plus characters at release, yet 9th gen fighters can't? Then 20 characters, the roster is too short. Winklings posted this screenshot, but underneath that, why are people complaining about having 20 characters? That's a good amount for a fighting game. But once again, you got that rebuttal saying for a 1v1 fighter, that's great. But for a tag fighter, especially a 4v4, that's pretty limited. And then PlayStation account required, here come the crybabies. But even with that, like underneath that thread, you have a whole debate saying regions not being able to play the game is bad actually. And then get your one-bar asses off my server. And well, Sony is stupid because a lot of regions are not going to be able to play the game or even buy the game. You see the screenshot right here. Underneath that, leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone. I don't care about region locks. And didn't PSN get hacked when they tried to force this on Helldivers? Said requirements also caused the game to get delisted in 2/3 of the world, by the way. And Sony fanboys are the most people, I swear to God. So that's pretty much the sentiment right now, right? People are continuing on. Some saying it's not the roster that's going to kill it. It's going to be the oversimplification of everything. But others are like, nah, it's the roster. It's a 4v4 for crying out loud. Others worried about the whole PlayStation account. And then you have this sentiment right here that we've seen repeatedly talking about fighters in 2018 had 24 characters while being a 3v3. This game is a 4v4 but only has 20. I don't like to complain about these type of things, but it definitely feels like pretty little, especially with how we've been seeing the same 8 of them for so long. Then once again, I noticed Rooflemonger even weighing in. Now Rooflemonger made a video just yesterday. It's over 8 minutes long. So once again, link down below so you guys can check it out. He doesn't weigh in on this debate. He's talking more about the state of play and how we haven't really heard anything from Tokon in a while. Check this out.
Going back to Evo, I'm very sure it'll be playable on the Evo show floor, and we'll probably get a lot of good footage out of that. Although that said, not exactly a training mode. Your sickest combos will not be found at an exhibition at a trade show. And of course, sometime before the actual launch, you gotta do the open beta because that's effectively the tradition of fighting games. Whenever that may be anyways. Again, I do not anticipate the actual launch to be anytime soon. But yeah, like this is gonna be an important day for Marvel Tokon. Like imagine they don't show up. Like that to me would say the game's in trouble. That tells me there's like something catastrophically wrong. The whole advertising, launch, everything about this game as it's been so far has already been kind of suspect as it is. Like, you know, as far as the core game goes, like I've already said, I like the core game. Like maybe there's some things that could be better, but I think there's something there. There's something solid to the core of it, but obviously that's not everybody. You could say perception is often reality, and the perception around Marvel Tokon is sort of so-so at best right now. So we got to show up for Marvel Tokon, and we got to show up big time at this PlayStation State of Play. At bare minimum, I'm sure it's going to be worth a watch, right? If it's an hour long, even if there is no Tokon related stuff, like if you're into video games at all, I'm sure there'll be something there for you. But I really sincerely hope we get some big showing up on the Marvel Tokon front. Like I'm very invested in these games, you know, I sort of like fighting games. I want to see how this goes. There's a lot of characters I really want to see, even some that aren't realistic. Like, is Kingpin going to be a playable character? Of course not. But wouldn't it be really cool if he was? But don't get me wrong, I'll still be very happy to play the more obvious choices like your Wolverines and your Hulks. And if there is any shifts in the gameplay, I hope they decide to show that off on whatever they show off at the PlayStation State of Play. At a minimum, I'll probably be streaming along with it, so tune into the Rooflemonger Twitch channel and we can just watch together. And...
All right, so we'll stop right there. Once again, link down below so you can check out Roofle's whole video. But yeah, that's a big question as well. He's talking about the state of play. It's like, imagine if they don't show up. If they don't show up, that means to me that something is wrong. Something is catastrophically wrong, because what the hell is really happening right now? Because he was like, this whole thing up until this point kind of sus. He was like, I like the game, I enjoy it, I'm rooting for it. I feel like we're needing to see a little more, and we haven't heard anything in a while. So there it is right now, 20 characters on the opening roster, PlayStation account. Is it oversimplified? What we gonna see on Thursday? How y'all feeling? Let me know. And there it is, Butt Check family. Definitely let me know how you were feeling. Appreciate the mad love. And of course, it is HT, the most glorious day of the week. So let us get some cosplay. I'm gonna move over here to the side for you. Here we go. You know what we gonna do? I know it is a dead game. You know, it obviously has a fan base. The movie's coming out sometime this year. We're gonna do some Mortal Kombat cosplay. That's right. We still got the cosplay. Just because the game is dead doesn't mean the cosplay is dead. They had some of the baddest cosplay, I'll give them that. Some of the baddest cosplay I've ever seen due to that damn franchise. Either way, let's do it. So somebody by the name of Violet, link down below, once again, you're welcome, posted this just the other day saying, today I'm Jade from Mortal Kombat. So be nice and say hi or you'll get beaten up badly. That is a threat, that is a promise. Bam, there you go. Here we go. You know, we gotta click on the pictures. We gotta click on the pictures. She said, hold on, let me click on it right here. Let me get a little click. She said, say hi, or you're gonna get beaten up badly. I think most of us can agree we ain't saying a damn thing because yes, please beat us up badly. That is one more time, Butt Check family. Appreciate the mad love, man. This will be the only video of the day, but more than likely, I will see you tomorrow as well. We got a lot to unpack. Also, new channel on the second, or say new video on the second channel coming, I believe, like tomorrow. So either way, thank you guys for the amazing love as always. I don't know what it is, especially nowadays in the FGC, but yo, somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah blah blah. Subscribe.
カプコンカップも控えてますしね。ちょっともういい。ごめんもう。